Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to the Japan Study Center. Today we are going to see the chapter of geography, and what is our topic today? A factor influencing there is a climatic of India. There is an important point here. Factor influencing there is a climate of India. The factor influencing there is a climate of India are given below. There first point here. Location and latitudinal extent. There is important here longitudinal and their location. The whereabout. The India is lies roughly between to the 6 degree north to 37 north latitude, and the tropical of Cancer pass through the middle of country. You know that, you understand, the tropical of Cancer is a pass through the middle of the country. The southern part began to closer to the equator. The southern parts began to closer to the equator, experience high temperature throughout the year. There is important. The southern part of began to closer to the equator, experience high temperature throughout the year. The northern part, on the other hand, lies in the warm, is a temperate zone. The northern part, on the other hand, lies the warm temperate zone. Another experience is a low temperature, is a particularly in the winter. There is a low temperature in a particular winter's day here, and water bodies surrounding is a peninsula. India is make a climatic condition is mild along to the coastal area. There is important location and latitudinal extent here. The next year, distance from a sea. There is an important point factor here. Distance from the sea, the factor. The southern is a peninsula. India is surrounding by Arabian Sea, the India Oceans and Bay of Bengal. Hence, this climate of coastal region of India is a equable or the maritime. The contrary, this is a climate of regions located in the interior of the country are cut off from to the oceanic influence. As a result, they have on extreme or continental types of climate here. Note that there is factor distance from a sea. The next year, the northern mountain range. There is an important the northern mountain range here. The Himalayan and adjoining is a mountain range which extends from the Kashmir in the northern west to the Arunachal Pradesh in the northeast, separate India from to the rest of Asia. And this range is to protect India from to the battles cold and dry winds of the Central Asia during to the winter here. Furthermore, they act as an effective physical barrier for the rain varying to the southwest monsoons. The winds to be across the northern is a frontier of India here. Thus, this is a range act as a climatic divide between India and subcontinent and Central Asia. There is an important point here. The next here factor physiography. There is important here. Physiography is important. The physical features influence the air temperature, atmospheric pressure, and direction of the wind and the amount of rainfall in different part of country. There is a physiography is important point here. There is a varied about here the physical feature influence their air temperature, atmospheric pressure, and direction of the winds and amount of rainfall in different part of the country. The study there is a map showing the physical feature given to the earlier lesson and find out yourself. That relationship between relief, temperature, direction of winds and amount of the rainfall with the help of climatic map and give in the lesson. And this will be help you to be understand by the western coastal plain receive a more rainfall than the entire part of the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu lining east at the side of the Western Ghat. You will be also understand by the Bay of Bengal branch of the southwest monsoon in the bifurcated into the two parts. One moving along to the Ganga Valley to be a west and the other is along there is a Brahmaputra Valley to the east. To locate on your atlas, there is a funnel shaped. Locate on your atlas, there are funnel shaped. The Terapunji Valley and the Masirama is nearby along to the steeps of northern edges of Meghalaya plateaus, and this would be give you a clue by the Mizoram happen to be a renaissance spot in the world. There is the most important for the UPC question. The Maseram happened to be a renaissance spot in world. Not a India, there is world. The next factor here, monsoon wind. The monsoon wind is also is the most important here. There is a change of climate for the India. The complete is a reversible in direction of winds over India is bearing about a sudden change in the seasons. The harsh summer season suddenly giving way to be as abated monsoon or rainy season. And these winds which is the change their direction is a completely are called monsoon winds. That is complete is called to the monsoon winds. The word monsoon is derived from the Arabic word museum, which mean to the season. The museum which mean to the season, and this wind have is a such as a far reaching influence of India as a climate that is a term as a monsoon types of climate. The monsoon types of climate. The nature of these winds can be described with a reference to be a surface distribution of pressure in a different regions of India during to winter and summer season. There is a most important factor here, monsoon wind here. According to the monsoon season here, types come the first, the northern monsoon and its effect. The northeast monsoon and its effect. During the winter, the weather condition is influenced by the high pressure developed over to the northern west part of the subcontinent, and this result in the blowings of cold, dry wind from this region to about to the southern low pressure area lining over to the water bodies surrounding peninsular India. And these winds are cold and very dry, and they do not be a case of rainfall is a weather condition under their influence remain cold and dry here. However, whereas this is a northern east monsoon winds is a collect to the moisture while they're passing over to Bay of Bengal. Their bearing the rain is along is a coromandel and the coast, and the strategy is speaking. These winds are planetary winds now as the northern east trades. In India, there is still land bearing there is winds. The next point here, according to the monsoon here, the south and west monsoon and its effect. The south and west monsoon and its effect. During the summer, the northern western part of India becomes very hot due to very high temperature. Due to very high temperature, the hot condition here is arrived. This is a attributable to the appearance shift of the sun in the northern hemisphere here, and this result in the reversal as the air pressure condition not only is a northwestern India but also on the water body surrounding the peninsula. The peninsula is the most important area. There is a water body surrounding a peninsula. As a result, northern east trade winds are replaced by the southwest monsoon winds. There is an important replacement here, southwest monsoon winds. And this is the winds are sea bearing and blow over to the warm water bodies before reaching a land, and they are a moisture land and causing to the widespread rain over to the most parts of India here. And this period of the southern west monsoon from June to September is known as the raining season for most parts of the country. The next point here, upper air circulation. There is a upper air circulation. The changes in the upper air circulation over India is a landmarks is yet another cases for the sudden outbreak of monsoon in India. And jet stream in the upper air system influence the climate of India in the following way. The first way here important. The first way is important here, a bestial jet stream and its impact. Jet stream and its impact here. During the winter at about 8 kilometer above the sea level, of westerly jet streams blow at a very high speed over to the subtropical zone. This jet stream is bifurcated by Himalaya ranges, and there is a northern branch of this jet stream blow along to the northern edges of this barrier. The southern branch is below to the eastward, south of the Himalayas range is along to the 25 north altitude. It is believed by meteorologists that is a branch of jet stream exercises a significant influence on the winter weather and condition of India. And this jet stream is responsible for the varying western disturbance from to the Mediterranean regions and into India subcontinent here. Winter rain and hailstorm is a northern west plan and occasionally heavy snowfall in the hill region and causing by this is a disturbance, and these are generally followed by there is a cold wave in the wall of northern plan here. And the next point is important here, the way the Australian jet and it is influenced during the summer due to the apparent shift of this sun in the northern hemisphere, and the reversal is upper air circulation take place, and the westerly steam is replaced by the easterly jet streams, which is always it is original to the heatings of the Tibetan plateau, and this lead to be a development of on the assembly called jet stream and centered around of 15th there's northern latitude is blowing over to the plains of India, and this help to the sudden onset of monsoon here. The next here, western disturbance and tropical cyclone here. There is an important point here. The inflow of the western disturbance is a moves under the influence of the western jet stream here from their Mediterranean Sea. Its influence of winter weather condition over most part of the northern plain and western Himalayas region here. It's a bearing little rain in the winter months, and this rain is considered to be a very good for the wheat crop in the northern plain here. The tropical cyclone also is developed in the Bay of Bengal, and the frequency and direction of this cyclone influence of weather condition along the eastern coastal during to the October, November and disturbance here. The December there is an important time period here. There is a coastals is during to the October, November and December. The next year is nano effect. Nano effect is important. Weather conditions in India are also influenced by EI nano, which is causing widespread flooding and drought in the tropical region of the world. EI is a narrow warm current which is sometimes a pair of the coasted is a Peru, South America. It is a temporary replacement of the cold Peru current which are normally flow along these coasts and sometimes become a more intense. It is increasing the surface water temperature of the sea by the 10 Celsius, and this warming of tropical Pacific water effect there is a global pattern of pressure and the wind stream system that including the monsoon wind in the Indian Ocean. It is believed that the is a severest drought of 1987 over India was caused by the EI nano. The next point here, southern oscillations and its effect here. Southern oscillations and its effect here. The southern oscillation is a pattern of meteorologically change which is often observed between India and Pacific Ocean. It has been to notice that whenever the surface level pressure is high over India oceans, it is a low over to Pacific Oceans and vice versa here. And when the pressure is high over to the Pacific Ocean and low over Indian Ocean, the southwest is a monsoon in India tend to be weaker. In the reverse case, a monsoon are mostly likely to be stronger. The most important point here, the factor affecting the climate of India are location, latitudinal extent, distance from the sea, the northern mountain range, and physiographic monsoon winds, upper air circulation, western disturbance, and tropical cyclone, and formation of EI nano and southern oscillation. There is a factor here. So note down your notebook. There is a most important point here.